Hello, good morning. My name is Safra Jerome, and I'm here to just share some good news with you, I guess. I'm noticing on YouTube, as is human nature, there's a lot of doom and gloom going on, no matter what you're kind of watching, whether it's people being angry about Star Wars or angry at the politicians, angry at the Canadian government, the US government, people with all their conspiracy theories that, oh, we're heading for a lockdown because it's a government conspiracy to make us all sheeple and all this stuff. It's overwhelming, and most of it's not true. They just want clicks. Certainly, there's always been nefarious things going on in the world. We've seen that throughout ever since humans began. So it's just more of the same, really. Just same old crap, different day, right? There's always been corrupt politicians. There's always been corrupt people. There's always been corrupt doctors. There's always been corrupt scientists. There's always been, artists that don't do what they should. There's always been, abuse of all kinds. So we're just trying to navigate through the world. So all you can really do if you're feeling so overwhelmed by all these things, especially now that we have social media, so we can see the bad news even more than before. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm a doom scroller as well. I thought, you know what? Thanksgiving's in a couple days. Let's get some happy thoughts happening. We're coming here in Canada, Toronto. We've had abnormally warm weather for like October. It's been like August, and I love the warm weather. I'm not sure why I live. Well, I live in Canada because I love Canada, and I just wish we had warmer weather at some place that was warmer in the country. I could go in the winters, but we're seeing that global warming and or just the shifting, whether it's global warming emergency or whether it's just the natural course of the environment, doesn't matter. The reality is the oceans are getting warmer and the climate is changing. When I was growing up, by now it'd be snowing and frosting and stuff. And I know there's cycles and all that, so I'm not panicking or tripping out, but I've been enjoying the warm weather, but it is a little creepy. So Thanksgiving's in a couple days. So let's think about things we have gratitude for. And I know it's going to be very hard for some of us this year, myself included. This is my very first Thanksgiving without my parents ever. My father passed away in December, and my mom's in a home, like now is in a home. So last year was the last year. Who knew? Well, for me, because my parent, I'm old, and so my parents are old. I always, every time I'd leave them, I'd always think, oh, I wonder if this is the last time. And I'd always insist on taking a picture before we leave, because I'd always figure we're getting near the last time. And we did. That was it. Last Thanksgiving was the very last time. My father made his very first turkey and was very proud of it. Then he died. So I guess he finished his life goal or whatever. Anyway, so we need to find our gratitude. We need to find, these sad, traumatic events. And in my case, with my parents dying or having Alzheimer's, whatever's happening, that is the natural course of life. I've been very blessed and have a lot of gratitude that I had my parents most of my life. And only now in my 60s am I losing them. And I know a lot of people, personally, I know a lot of people who lost their parents as children or young adults. And my own parents never got to deal with their parents. So I have a lot of gratitude. So that's on my gratitude bucket list for Thanksgiving. So I just wanted to try and be a good news person, try and just, there's always going to be negative people. And regardless of your politics, all we can really do is live and let live, accept people for who they are, and just try and go with the flow. Money is really hard for tons of us. Like for me, it's a nightmare because I'm in this crazy trap that yeah. And then my courses didn't run, and yeah, my all my things have fallen apart, and I know that's how it's been with a lot of you too. And it's hard. I've started a Poshmark store because I'm trying to do something to manifest an income. And I know a lot of other people are resorting to eBay and Poshmark and stuff. So there's probably too many of us trying to sell to each other because we're all broke with no prospects. You know, at my age, what are my prospects? I'm a writer. I get royalties, not a lot. I am a tarot card reader, so please feel free to email me anytime. Apparently, some of the links on my sites aren't working, so just pop me an email if you want a tarot reading. And yeah, so let's get back to our gratitude. What are we grateful for this Thanksgiving? I think we can be grateful that we're not in the grip of a plague, although it is, you know, popping up again. I do think that I don't, you know, I don't want to get flagged on the tube here, but I think it's going to be a lot like the flu now, where we just kind of have to learn to live with it. And some people get it, some people don't. You know, get the, if you want it, if you don't, here we are, right? Everyone has their theories. And I find it interesting that, you know, when I was growing up, people would have lauded these recent things as, I have to be careful what words I use because I don't want to get shut down again, as miracles. And now these sorts of things are regarded with deep suspicion and, oh, they're trying to control the population. And I don't see that at all. Anyways, but to each their own, Dulcinea, or opinion, as it were. So let's get our attitudes of gratitude out. That's all we can do. You know, when everything's swirling around us, we're broke, we can't pay our rents, we can't buy food, and the food banks have unprecedented lines, which means there's no food left. For people who were used to food banks, you know, they're having trouble, and because all these new people are using the food banks. The thrift stores have jacked their prices super high, so you can't even go and get cheap clothing anymore, not even to resale, but just to buy. A lot of the clothing at places like Value Village, it's cheaper to go to Walmart and you get brand new outfits instead of old crappy clothes. So yeah, so we have to have gratitude, and depends where you live and how you can travel around, what you can do. So just be grateful, like you have internet to watch this, I guess, for now. It's a rough time for, I just basically wanted to come on and say, you are not alone. You're not. We are all, almost everyone I know is hit in some way by the finances or the health, family tragedies, and so on. We all have something, and it's a scary time. And of course, if you're worried about climate change, you're frightened about that. You know, those of us that are parents, we worry about our children. Will our children ever be able to own their own homes? Will they ever be able to get stable jobs? When will the madness end? Like, minimum wage went up to a whole $16.40 or something crazy the other day. Whereas in the calculations here in Toronto, minimum wage should be minimum of $23 at this point in time. And I wrote a blog on Substack about how I actually did used to be able to work part-time, pay my rent, have a life, live a life, pay all my bills on minimum wage. So it's not a ridiculous notion. I did it myself before I went to university with my first apartment. I lived alone. I didn't have to have a roommate or anything. There was none of this, you know, 20 people in a room crap we have to have now, right? I personally have a lot of gratitude that I've landed in a artist co-op, and unless things change like they did for Artscape, I really do have a place to live for a few years at least, unless things change a lot. So I am grateful, eternally grateful for that. I don't have to worry. But of course, that means I have no investments in real estate either. So, anyways, so I want to pull a card for us all. I hope it's a good one. I haven't looked. Let's see. Get a card going, and if there's good news. Judgment. Well, isn't that so? Because we're all judging each other. It's Judgment Day for sure. I feel like that. I get the Judgment card a lot when I pull for myself, which is why I hardly ever pull for myself, because it's the Judgment card. So literally Judgment Day. So coming to the end of a cycle, karma balancing. You might be winding up some projects and you're being judged or assessed, like contests and stuff like that. Then there's judging of yourself, judging others. Often people who are judgy judge themselves worst of all. And so signs like Aquarius, Virgo, and Sagittarius are very judgmental signs. And I'm an Aquarius. So we tend to be judgy, and that's probably why all of you got my Judgment card. Because you're judging thing, assessing situations, sizing people up, maybe having preconceived notions when we shouldn't. So open heart, open mind, I guess, is a big thing. And, like I said, you might be coming to the ends of things, and now it's time to reap the rewards or punishments, as it were. That card may also have come up because, since I'm the one who pulled it, I have a few things coming up. Like tonight, I'm in a film festival. Tomorrow night, I'm in a film festival with a short film that I'm acting in, and someone else wrote, directed, and produced. And so being judged at a film festival tonight, and I'm being judged at one tomorrow. So I'm sorry if the things I'm up to are filtering into the rest of you, but I think we can all take a lot of information from the Judgment card and look at how we judge people, thinking about our own gratitude, who we are and what we're doing, and how we're judging other people, whether they're fearful of another round of lockdowns, or they're fearful of paying their rents. Are we judging people because they have to go to the food bank? Are we judging people because they can't pay their rent or their bills? Are we judging all the people who need to have GoFundMes? We'll find out, I personally had to go to the doctor the other day because I'm having a lot of dizziness and issues, and they gave me a million tests. And I live in Canada, so my biggest problem was the $15 parking. They did my heart, my brain, and all kinds of things on me because I'm not feeling well. And it might be the stress of, where's the money coming? Will I ever have a job again? And like a steady one. So I had several steady jobs, and then through the course of the thing for a couple of years, and then all the writer strikes and Hollywood strikes and stuff, at ways I was making extra money, went away. I still do editing, but no one's come to me for editing work in a long time. And I think that's because, people pick their favorites, and that's fine. That's fine. Or maybe people just don't realize I still do that. Anyway, so we all need to just lighten the load. We need to not get stressed. We need to take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, hold it for 2, then breathe out through your mouth, and do that for a few minutes every day. That's supposed to lower our blood pressure and calm our minds. And so just pay attention to the things that you do have control over. A lot of things around us are completely out of our control, but we do have control over a few things. So even if we don't have control over our bank accounts and things like that right now, we can control how we think and how we feel. We can control how we treat other people. We can control how we let other people treat us, right? If you're feeling out of control with everything in your life, maybe it's time to judge. How are you setting boundaries in your life? With Thanksgiving coming, are you the one doing all the cooking and the cleaning and the hosting and all that? Do you need to learn how to delegate some of those things now? Or maybe you'll be like me and you're not doing anything for Thanksgiving because everyone's dead. I just know I'm being cynical, but setting boundaries, it's not a bad thing to learn how to say no. It's not a bad thing at all to say, look, I'm making the yams, you make the turkey. I'm hosting this year, you host next year. Or no, I don't want all these people coming into my house. I don't feel well. Maybe someone else can host Thanksgiving this year. And Thanksgiving doesn't have to be a great, big, huge to-do, especially right now when money's so tight. Sometimes just getting together on Zoom so you can save money on gas and not be driving really far or flying really far. Just think of simple things, handmade cards, just going for a walk, just enjoying the beautiful weather we're having and try not to get freaked out that it's too nice. Lots of things to do for free and to settle our minds. So we have to sometimes shift our thinkings away from traditional ways of doing things, especially, when the economy's bad and there's bad news all around and various illnesses are cropping up again. So just everybody, just take it easy on yourself, take it easy on your brains. Try not to judge yourselves too hard and try not to judge others. Just try and be in the moment. Try not to freak out about what's coming up. And try not to worry about what happened in the past because we can't change the past, right? So we can only deal with what's in this moment right now and move forward. And I'm not saying ignore the future because there are a lot of times we have to plan various things for the future. We have to put our ducks in a row and stuff, but we can't get super tripped out about minuscule things. Just know you have a schedule and try and stick to it. Try not to disappoint people. Keep communication over. If you can't make it for Thanksgiving or you're too depressed or whatever might be happening, just tell someone. Instead of ghosting people, just talk, right? Anyways, I want this to be an uplifting message. I'm not sure it is, but my message is like, just try not to freak out. Just live in the moment, have gratitude for the things around you of beauty, of, the abilities that you do have, whether it's breathing or walking or, various things. Maybe you're recovering from something and so on. And just one step at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. So I seriously do some of those breathing exercises. They've really helped me get my blood pressure down a little bit. And I'm feeling a lot better and more hopeful. So I wanted to hop on because, like I said, I just keep seeing all this doom and gloom and all these things are happening to us. And it's like we are each little individual people and we can each control how we think, how we receive information, and what we do with that information. I know that can be really hard to remember when we're super stressed or someone gets us really upset or angry about something. We need to take a deep breath in and deal with how we're processing things. And that's a lesson I'm still working on too. I certainly am not. People will tell you I'm one of the queens of popping off. So it's certainly a strategy I've been working on myself in my own life. So I'm sharing it with you. Happy Thanksgiving.